shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, who leaves us breathless in awe and wonder, the King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Say how worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy. And this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me, all that you've done for me, all that you've done for me. Oh yes, yeah, all that you've done for me. It's just amazing. That's God's forgiveness for us, that He would forgive us before we were even here, that He knew who we would be and what we would do. And He just asks for us to say yes to Him. When He asks, say yes. I count on one thing: the same God that never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now in the waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. He's working all things out. Oh yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy for all my days. Oh yes, waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. He's working all things out. Oh yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy for all my days. Oh yes, I will for all my days. Oh yes, I will, and I choose to praise, to glorify the name of all names. That nothing can stand against, and I choose to praise, to glorify the name of all names. That nothing can stand against, I choose to praise, to glorify the name of all names. That nothing can stand against, and I choose to praise, to glorify the name of all names. And nothing can stand against. Oh yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy for all my days. Oh yes, I will for all my days. Oh yes, I will for all my days. Yes, I will. Yes, Lord, I will. I will do when you call. I will be here to answer. You know, the Lord has never failed us. He's never given up on us. And as I was talking earlier about the forgiveness in our new series, I just thought, you know, God forgave me before I even spoke a word. That's the words of this song. It's going to say, before I spoke a word, He was singing over me. He knew my actions. He knew my words. He knew what I would say. And sometimes my words, my tongue is very sharp at times. And sometimes it cuts my husband the most. But you know, God knew that was who I was. And it's not my intention to hurt, but sometimes it does. And so we need to remind ourselves that, you know, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, because God's forgiveness is for all of us. We also need to extend it to others because He first gave it to us. Let's sing about His love this morning. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Hey, oh, now it's your fault, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. Oh yes. When I it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I could earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Sing it, church. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Hallelujah! Oh, Lord, we thank you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You are so worthy, God. Praise your name, Father, this morning. You're so, so good to us, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
He leaves the 99 for the one, for the lost. He loves us. He chases us down. It's crazy. Let's put this into perspective for a second, right? Let's put this into perspective. It is absolutely insane, crazy, ridiculously divine that the creator of the entire universe, let's think about this, the creator of the entire universe thinks about you personally, thinks about me personally. That is crazy. That's crazy, dog. That is insane. Like, that just makes me that makes me want to jump up and down and just go crazy because, I mean, the creator of the universe loves me and wants me. And he wants every single one of you. That is, oh my gosh. All right, go ahead. You can be seated. Let's move on before I start doing cartwheels in the front. Okay? Good morning, Community Circle Church. It is so good to see everyone today. It is so good. It is so good that I think I'm spitting all over the front row right now. So I'm sorry. But, yeah, Rob's covering his face. So you're in the second splash zone. It's the front row. That's it. So I do have a couple of announcements, right? Announcement number one. Okay, we have found a building. We have found a building. Yes, it's awesome. So it's this one. No, I'm just kidding. Right? So we are in this building temporarily. We are going to be moving to the Shafter High Auditorium December 12th. Everybody say December 12th.
December 12th.
December 12th, we are moving to the Shafter High Auditorium. It has 908 seats. Something like that. 908 seats. Let's go with it. Let's fill them up. Let's fill them up as much as we can. That's the goal, right? So it's going to be a lot of fun. December 12th, second week of December. It's going to be the same time, 11 a.m. So you're all going to still get to sleep in. It's going to be awesome. I love having church at 11 because I sleep in. And I don't even have to set an alarm on Sundays. It's great. So also, we have Youth Circle tonight. Say, ooh, ooh. Thank you for the one person who said, ooh, ooh, with me. I appreciate it. Youth Circle, 7th grade to 12th grade. It's going to be at mine and my wife's house. It's going to be a lot of fun. Even though the Dodgers are playing tonight, it's okay. I'm going to record it, watch it afterwards. But it's going to be so much fun. We have food, we have games, we have, just amazing time. Right, Sadie's? Yeah. Can you please look happy? I'm just kidding. So it's going to be awesome. Also, we do have giving options here for Community Circle Church. We have a text to give. If you want to, you can text the number with the dollar amount you want to give. And then we also have a tithe box over here on the side. I've mentioned this in the past, but we don't like to shove giving down people's throats. We don't like to say, give or you go to hell, because that's not true. So it's here, it's optional, but it's for you. I have a story. If you want to hear my story, you can ask me. Giving works. It really does. So just let me know. Last thing. Actually, I have two things. Sorry. Softball tournament. Okay, softball tournament. November 12th. We need a couple of things for that. If you want to donate waters.
13th.
What did I say?
12th.
13th. It's a Saturday, not a Friday. So if you want to donate waters, sodas, stuff for the snack bar, you can talk to Vanjie, and Vanjie can tell you what to donate, because we're going to be doing tacos out there. It's going to be awesome. So, and also, we have 2 teams. Community Circle Church is sending 2 teams. So if you're on one of those teams, get your money to the captain as fast as you can so we can get everyone registered, t-shirt sizes, and all that can be taken care of. Whew. Last but not least, are you ready? This month is Pastor Appreciation Month. The month of October is Pastor Appreciation Month. So Pastor Steve is standing up here accidentally. I don't think he knew I was gonna do this, but it's Pastor Appreciation Month. Appreciate Pastor Steve, and he's not going to say it himself. He won't say it himself, and but he's our pastor, and man, he goes through so much for us. He really does. I'm going to brag on my pastor for just a little bit. Being a pastor isn't just being a pastor on Sundays. It's not. It's being involved in the community. It's being involved with families. It's texting you guys, making sure you're okay. It's praying for you guys every day. It is so much more than just coming up here on a Sunday and preaching. So appreciate your pastor however you feel is the way to appreciate him. Maybe it's a hug. I don't know. Just appreciate your pastor. It is Pastor Appreciation Month. So that is all I have for today. I'll turn things over to the awesome Pastor Steve. Give him a round of applause.
No, you can't borrow my car. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm so glad you guys made it today.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you guys. You guys look great. And the weather so much better now that the wind stopped and kind of the heat's kind of died down. Caleb's right. The month of October is Clergy Appreciation Month. But who knows what clergy is? I mean, that sounds like you sneeze with something in your mouth, right? So, right? So we say it's Pastor Appreciation Month, and I appreciate the appreciation so far, the cards and stuff. Thank you. But let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart. If you really want to appreciate me, fill up Shafter High Auditorium.
Yeah, that's right.
That will be the biggest appreciation you can show. Because my desire is not for cards and accolades, but that's not why I do this. I do this because I want to see our community changed. So if you appreciate what we're doing, come alongside of us and help us out.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest thing that you guys can do for us. And so, probably shouldn't say this, but how many of you guys know that I say a lot of stuff I'm not supposed to, right? And there's a lot of times that I've been taken aside afterwards and they'll go, hey, you know somebody might see this, so you better be careful what you say. But I'm going to say it anyway, because that's just who I am, right? Come as you are. That's Community Circle Church, right? I'm not one big on accolades for me. I don't want my birthday celebrated on my anniversary, I've been in this my whole life, and I've seen it. Every other month it seems like they're taking an offering for the pastor. Oh, it's his birthday. His dog just had a birthday, and let's just pass him a card. And that's not what this is about for me. This is about seeing lives changed, and this is about people stepping into their ministry and stepping into their calling. And so I want to take this opportunity. The third Sunday in October is usually when we celebrate it. In case you didn't know, that's today. Today's the third Sunday in October. And so I don't necessarily want to celebrate pastor appreciation. I like to do pastors, apostrophe S, my appreciation for you guys. And I've had people that have kind of helped me out throughout the year and have stepped up. And so this is what I like to do, take time to recognize the people that come alongside and say, hey, we're catching the vision and we're working alongside you. We want to see the community change just like you do. And so this is my time to say, hey, thank you for catching it. Thank you for stepping alongside of me. And so, because it's not about me, it's about our Creator. It's about God. It's about the Son that died for us and to save us from going to a devil's hell. That's what it's about. Okay, so I'm going to take a few minutes. We might go a little past 12 today. I'm not going to apologize yet. I'm not going to apologize until I see how far after 12 we go. All right? But I just want to take a couple of minutes and just recognize a few people. Is that okay? Yeah. Just go ahead and say yes. I'm going to do it anyway. Yes. All right, there you go. Okay. So the first one is I couldn't do it without my wife. I couldn't do it. She builds me up. She says, hey, that was stupid. Don't do that. That was dumb. You shouldn't have said that. You should probably think again before you say or do that. And, she's does a great job up here every week with the music. Because of what's of her, I would be leading worship. And trust me, you don't want that. So, with all of my heart, thank you for standing behind me. Thank you for everything that you've done. What you guys don't know is I messed up big time last night, so I'm trying to make up for it right now. Okay? So, like I said, I usually say what I'm not supposed to, and I probably just took all those points away. But I really, really do appreciate, and I know every pastor says it, but no, I really do. She's right there, and she kind of keeps me stable sometimes. So sometimes you got to be talked off the ledge, and she's done a lot of talking lately. But there's a few other people I want to recognize. I want to say thank you. We're going to do this real quick. Can you have the cards up for me as I call? First one is Brandon. Brandon has been faithful. He's back there working the sound and the computer every week. He's kind of taken that on his own, and it's kind of freed Caleb up with some of the stuff that he's got to do. And so, Brandon, we really appreciate you sitting back there and doing that. And it takes a lot off of some of the rest of us. And so, thank you very, very, very much. Let's see, they're not that important. I'll get to them later. Mercedes. Come here. Say hi. Hey, how was everybody doing? Mercedes is up here every week, Did we embarrass you? Good. Okay. No, every week she's up here. What you guys may not realize is we go live stream every week, and this is how a lot of people are introduced to the ministry here at Community Circle Church. And sometimes they watch it before they come in. It's like, hey, let me check this out. Is this fool for real? Right? So we gotta, sorry, Sophie, to make you put that through your nose. I'm dead, right? So, Mercedes, thank you so much for being faithful and, just, again, taking it on as her own. She takes care of it. I know when she's here, I don't have to worry about it. And so that's a big help for us. I want to say thank you to Sophie. Sophie has become one of our greeters and working the welcome team. just kind of gone out there and just added a bunch of personality because she's got a bunch of them, right? And I tell you what, this is one of our biggest missionaries we have here because I mean she's inviting people like crazy. And I'm going to tell you, Sophie, don't stop. Don't stop because we're going to see this community change. You and me and the rest of us together, we're going to do it. So I appreciate your dedication. I appreciate what you do. So thank you. Thank you so much. Bella's not here.
She's watching.
So Bella,
She's watching.
she's watching. That's all we're going to say about Bella. Bella's not here, but Bella has also, thank you, Bella, for going out there and working at the Welcome Center. That's the first face people see when they come on the property, right? Is the person out there. And so, and she's got a smile and a personality, and so we appreciate, Bella, what you're doing. And we got a card here for you, or maybe we don't, I don't know. So, Elijah, I'm gonna have Elijah right here. This guy right here, he helps us out with the setup, with the tear down. Elijah, go run through that wall, and he'll go running through the wall. Just whatever you need. If I had 100 Elijahs, I'd be doing great. I could rule the world because I just the kind of dedication and just no more quinces, all right? Yeah, that's it. I have one here, and don't you guys get jealous, okay? But I have one for Sarah because she's gonna coach the team, and I know her sister's right here. Their sister's right here. Oh, I'm dead. Are you kidding me? So, but we appreciate. Hey, let me tell you something about what Sarah did. She went out. She built a team for the church. And almost nobody goes to the church. No, hold on. They don't go to the church yet. Yeah. They don't go to the church yet. But I think through Sarah reaching out through the softball team, she's got vision and like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to grab these people and we're going to introduce them to people. And they just think they're going to play softball. But they're going because they're going to meet Jesus. And they just don't know it yet. And so, Sarah, if you're watching, get your butt to church. Yeah. All right? Olga, you can give this to her if you don't mind. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. It's up to you.
So I'm going to give it to the sisters?
Yeah. You guys just might all split that yourselves. Hey. It's out of my hands now. Raul and Diane. Let me tell you something. Raul and Diane have kind of just taken on the vision. They've jumped in. And, you know, it was they were kind of like visitors the first time. And after that, it's like, okay, what can we do? We're home. Let's this is our house now. They both volunteered at the Welcome Center. They've been there for events. It's just like no matter what we need, say, hey, guys, I'm thinking, okay, what do you need? Yeah. You know, you have no idea how much that means to have somebody that's, well, you know, I wish I could, but no. What do you need? Okay, we got it. We got it. And so I appreciate both of you. I appreciate your family, everything you guys have done. And again, without being a weirdo, Raul has, you know, he'll see people on the side of the road. Hey, you go to church? You should come to our church. Yeah. And I love the fire. I love the passion. Diane's going to get Wasco High School saved because she's working on everybody. She's working on everybody in that office. And so I really do appreciate that. I really, really do. David and Vanjie. Make him come up and face the camera? Yeah, he's like this guy.
He looks good today. He's wearing black and white.
Yeah.
He's 20.
Let me tell you something. These two have jumped in. Vanjie's out there on the welcome team. They hosted the yard sale, right? We made $1,000 to send kids to winter camp. Okay, David's here faithfully. The chairs you're sitting in because David set them up. When you leave, you don't have to worry about it because David takes care of it. They're right there. They're inviting people. And it's because of that dedication, and we're going to see change in our cities. We're going to see change in our communities. We're going to see changes in our families. It's that kind of dedication. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. I really, really do appreciate it. This one's a little different, and I know they're not going to like it, but this one goes to my mom and dad. Glenn and Brenda Dobbs. Go ahead. You can take it back. My mom has been teaching the kids in the back since Jesus was a baby. Okay, she was my Sunday school teacher when I was a kid, and she taught well before that. She loves your kids, your grandkids. She loves them to death, and you have to have a special calling for that, and she does. And there'd be some people that come out pulling their hair out, and then here comes my mom just walking with her arm around them, just loving on them and everything else because she loves your kids. And so you can't teach that, you can't train that. That's a calling, and she has it. My dad will, no matter what we need. What do you guys need? Okay, I got it. A lot of your coffee stuff back there. He's just like, hey, I was at Sam's Club and I bought a 55-gallon drum of sugar, so here you go. Very, very generous giving heart, very financially generous, and it's because of generosity that churches are able to function. And it's because of generosity, not just from him, but from all of us. We all jump in. We don't need help from the district right now. The district that we belong to can't believe we're running this by ourselves. And it's because we've got people that are funding. And just a little side note, expenses are getting ready to go up when we move, so you guys just be thinking about that, okay? Because you can't outgive God, right? Okay, just throw that in there. I learned that from my dad. I did. I learned my financial outlook from my mom and dad. And you know what? God's blessed me, and I've watched him bless them because they're generous. They've been generous to us. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. They kind of surprised me. I didn't know they were coming to the church. And all of a sudden I get a phone call. Hey, when you start the church, we're going to be there. They were in their church 20 years. He was on the board. It's like, no, we're going to come make sure that your church is a success. And so you can't claim that. So thank you. I'm going to ask Caleb to come up here for a second. His wife is in the back. Emma's in the back. She's teaching your kids today. But Emma does the kids. She does youth. Caleb does the technology. He runs part of the youth. Anytime I need somebody to yell at, I call Caleb. Because I take it out of him. I can't do it with Robin because I sleep with her. And so it makes things a lot more harmonious if I yell at Caleb and not her. Okay, so he puts up with a lot. He does a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I put up with a lot from him too. So I tell him, I say, you're my greatest source of energy, my greatest source of new ideas, but you're also my greatest frustration. So he's a package, and I really do appreciate the work and the dedication that him and his wife have put in. So much in the background, you guys. I mean, I could sit here all day and talk about it, but I won't. But okay, you can sit down now. Okay, not you.
Don't say that.
Yeah. I wanted to publicly congratulate Caleb because he was just given his apprenticeship papers through our district, and he is now an apprenticeship minister with his license. And so we're proud of him. We're proud of Emma and what they're doing, and appreciative. And so we say thank you, and keep up the good work, guys. Congratulations. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I appreciate all of you guys. And it's like, hey, I didn't get nothing. Hey, jump in and I'll get you next year. All right? Hey, trust me, we've got stuff for everybody. You guys, whatever your calling is, we got stuff. So we're getting ready to start growing because we're going to fill up Chapter High Auditorium, right? 900 and something seats. We got some work to do. But I think with all those, I think we can do it. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we can too. All right. Last week, we started our series on the F word. And everybody, when we first started, like, yes, he's going to say it's okay to say it, right? No.
Fruit.
No. Yeah. But what we're talking about was forgiveness, right? And how many guys have an easy time forgiving people? I mean, it's so easy. They kick you in the shin and they say they're sorry. It's like, I forgive you. Right? How many guys know it's easier to forgive after you punch them back? Right? After you get even a little bit, right? But who do you guys believe is the hardest person to forgive? I mean, there's a lot of different people out there. You're like, man, how many guys when you get in an argument with your spouse is like, I could forgive anybody for that except you because you betrayed me. You didn't put the toilet seat down. Or you didn't put the lid back on the milk. How dare you? Right? That's a joke, guys. Come on, ease up a little bit. Come on. Let's not get too heavy now, right? So some of you have a hard time forgiving your parents. They didn't hug you enough or affirm you enough, or they didn't go to your games enough, or something. Something happens like you loved the other one more than you loved me, right? So sometimes it's like we have a hard time forgiving our parents, or a close friend who hurts you. They can be the most difficult person to forgive at times. But I would argue the most difficult person to forgive, I think somebody said it a minute ago, is yourself. It's yourself, really. I found that one of the biggest hurdles for me to forgive myself is guilt. Right? Any of you guys ever feel that? I mean, where do you guys feel? I feel like right here. And it just starts gnawing and eating away. Anybody else? Sometimes I try to think, well, you know what? Maybe a cheeseburger will help that go away. No, not usually. But it doesn't stop me from trying. Okay? But it doesn't help me to stop trying, okay? So the overwhelming feeling that guilt can bring, it makes it really difficult to believe that we deserve forgiveness. Right? I think we should get what we deserve, so if I don't deserve forgiveness, well, why would I forgive myself? See, we've tricked ourselves into believing that we have to deserve this, right? Thank goodness God doesn't always give me what I deserve. Right? Thank goodness. Because I remember when I was a kid, I would tell my dad, I said, Dad, I need, and then you fill in the blank, I need this or I need that. And his response was always, you couldn't stand what you really need. Right? You couldn't stand it. Yeah, and he's probably still thinking that. But yeah, and he was right. He was right. I really probably couldn't stand what I really needed. But God, when it comes to what we deserve, He has a different response. Let's look at this right here. Psalms 103:10. He has not punished us as our sins should be, or what we deserved be punished. He has not repaid us for the evil we have done. Right? Remember last week, we don't want what's fair. We really don't. Because if we got what was fair, how much trouble would we really be in? Right? How much trouble would we really be in? Now, when it comes to guilt, we usually experience guilt for one of two reasons. Something we did, or something we didn't do. Right? Something I did, oh man, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. Or, oops, I should have done that. Now I didn't do it. Now I'm in trouble, right? Okay? I could have never been one of those guys that had two different families in two different cities that didn't know about each other. You know what I'm talking about? How many girls watch Lifetime movies and that kind of stuff? Yeah. Right? You know, he's got the family in LA and the family in Atlanta, right? And they don't know about each other, and he's a traveling salesman, so he's over here half the time. I could never do that. I'm not that good of a liar, first of all. My facial expressions would give it away. Not to mention, I would get names mixed up. I call my kids different names all the time, right? I can't keep them straight. Birthdays and anniversaries would totally give me away. I can't even hardly keep one birthday, one anniversary straight. How would I do it with two? Not to mention with all these kids, it's like, oh, hey, happy birthday. Oh, Dad, my birthday's not for 6 months. Oh, well, I'll just take this to LA with me. Never mind. You know, I could never do that. I could never do it. I would blow it. How many of you guys think you could do it and get away with it? Yeah, don't raise your hand because I'm going to start looking at you crazy, right? It's like, uh-oh, Lifetime movie in the making right here at Community Circle Church, right? Yeah, I would blow it big time. Okay? So, but maybe I'm the only one, but when I've done something wrong, man, the guilt, it kind of can get kind of overwhelming. Especially if I know I've hurt somebody or, you know, just really damaged something. I don't know about you guys, has it ever made you sick? Where you just like, almost just physically made yourself sick through the guilt. Almost like you've got something getting ready to pop out of you, like the movie Alien. You know, that just comes out. That's how the guilt feels like. It's just welling up. If you don't know what Alien is, just Google it. You'll be all right. Okay. So why do we have this feeling? Even if we've been forgiven, even if God says, hey, I've forgiven you, and whoever you hurt says, I forgive you, we still have this feeling of guilt. Okay? And part of the reason I think is because we have two definitions of words that we've confused. See, the first word is conviction. I'm not talking about in court. You guys relax. You know. Conviction. And what conviction simply means is the state of being convinced. See, conviction is what God uses to convince you that you've done something wrong. Hey, you need to know this was wrong, so I'm just going to let you know. Okay? It's a convincing. Okay? The Holy Spirit is convincing you that you were wrong and you need to fix it with whoever you broke it with and with God. So that's conviction. Second word is guilt. That's a feeling of responsibility or remorse for some kind of an offense. Whether it's real or imagined, whatever, it's an inner feeling, and God will use conviction but not guilt. God doesn't want you to feel guilty. God wants you to realize, hey, I messed up and I need to fix it. The guilt is what the devil's going to use to beat you up. Okay? We judge ourselves by our intentions, right? Well, I intended for this to work out, so I'm going to go ahead and give myself a pass on this. But what they did, oh, they're dirty dogs, and they did the same thing you did. Well, we judge them by their actions. We justify ourselves by our intentions, but we judge people by their actions, right? So when we mess up to the point that we can't justify our intentions or our actions, the guilt's overwhelming. I can't justify why I did it, and so the guilt's killing me. Because I can't forgive myself because of how bad I feel, because I can't, in my heart or my mind, justify it. That's when we really, really step into it, right? Take one of the most hated men in the Bible, Judas, right? Does anybody name their kid Judas anymore? No. Because after the New Testament was written, it's like, that name's ruined, right? Who wants to name their kid Judas? Right? One of the most hated guys in the Bible. He betrays Jesus. He sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. Do you guys know how much that 30 pieces of silver was worth? It was worth about a week's salary. Right? On a 6-day work week. 5-week salary. If you work 6 days a week. So for a little more than a month's salary, he betrays Jesus. He didn't handle his actions well. He didn't handle his guilt well. Well, what did he do? Well, let's look at it. Matthew 27. Judas, the one who had given Jesus to his enemies, saw that they had decided to kill Jesus. Then he was very sorry for what he had done. He felt guilt. So he took the 30 coins back to the priest and the leaders, saying, I sinned. I handed over to you an innocent man. The leaders answered, what is that to us? That's your problem, not ours. Well, can't people be so gracious and, oh, you feel guilty? Let us help you out. That's your problem. Get lost. Right? Next verse. So Judas drew the money into the temple, and then he went off and he hanged himself. Hanged himself. You guys know what hangs mean, right? He threw a rope over something, and he choked himself to death. He hanged himself because of the guilt. Because of the guilt that he had, because he said, hey, I can't justify my actions. Even though it's all by my intentions, I can't justify it. And the guilt killed Judas. Right? Now, when okay, get this going here. When Jesus was on the cross, and what did he say? He says, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Right? He says that from the cross. Can I tell you, I believe he was talking about Judas too. Judas, I forgive you. I believe that was part of the message. I forgive you. You put me on this cross. You betrayed me. I forgive you. But he couldn't deal with the guilt. He couldn't forgive himself. And because he didn't forgive himself, he ended up hanging himself. Now, before we judge Judas too harshly, things aren't really all that different today. They're really not. So, we don't physically go out and hang ourselves, usually. But we do sell each other out. Talk trash on social media. Right? I mean, guys, have you guys seen some of the social media battles that go on back and forth, back and forth? I ask myself this question. Who has ever had their mind changed by arguing on social media? oh my gosh, I was enlightened by those Instagram posts. I will completely rethink my life now. Oh yeah, they said this on Facebook or Snapchat or whatever else you guys are going on out there with, and I have to reevaluate my whole thought process because they made such a good argument. No. It just goes this thread. It goes on and on and on and on. And I'm like, do you guys realize nobody cares about your argument? But man, we blast each other. And you know what we do when we're blasting each other? We kill the relationship. We just killed the relationship. We did no better than what Judas did. Okay? When I was growing up, I had friends. Yeah, it's true. I did. I had friends. Right? Some of you are like, no, wait, yeah, I did, really. Not very many, but I had some. And we would get into arguments. We would get into fights. And you know what happened? 2 days later, we were friends again. Isn't that crazy how that works? I hate that guy. I'll never talk to him again. Hey, what are you doing? You want to go to the creek? All right, let's go. You want to go down to the roller coasters? Yeah, okay, come on. The roller coasters was this little area where there was a mudslide and it knocked some houses out. And so all kinds of little trails. So we'd ride our bikes through it. That was the roller coasters where I grew up. Okay? So hey, you want to go down the roller coasters? Yeah. So we'd drag our bikes and we'd ride through the roller coasters. 2 days later, we were fine. Why? Because nobody else knew what we were going through. It was between us. It wasn't on the internet for the world to see. It was just fine. We didn't blast each other out and call each other out. And it never got to the point where we couldn't come back from it. Because it was personal, it was private. And we want to make everything public nowadays, don't we? You know what this girl said? She wore this and she looked like that and she said this to my man, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them, right? Not on purpose, it's just sometimes you just can't avoid the stuff. It's like, oh my goodness. Now it's almost like a car wreck. You're driving by, I don't want to look, but I have to, right? I have to see how this ends. I got to see what and it ends with them, you know, I hate you and you're this and you're that. And it's just, why? We're killing the relationship. My friends and I, thank God we didn't have social media back then. We were friends 2 days later. We got it fixed. We worked it out. Okay? The relationships, they're being choked out and they're being killed. We're hanging our relationship. It's because of guilt. I can't forgive myself. Can I tell you, we don't have to live like this. We don't have to do it. There's better. We can live a better life. Hey, we can do it. And we can do it better, and we can do it better together. Think about that. We can do it better together. We know we have to forgive others, right? We know that. There's no arguing when somebody says that. We have to forgive others. But let me tell you something. And look, and I get it. This message probably isn't for everybody. But there's somebody in here, or maybe watching online, that needs to hear. We have to forgive others, but you have to forgive yourself too. There's somebody out there, and it's running rampant in some areas. The self-hatred because you feel so guilty for something you did. God says, hey, I've forgiven it. Now you have to forgive it. Somebody needs to hear it. God says, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, okay? You've been into an argument. You've blasted somebody on social media. And I know we bring up the social media because everybody's on it. Everybody's on it. Now, look, if you're the one weirdo that doesn't have it, don't tell nobody, okay? We won't think no less of you. Just relax. It's okay. But can I just encourage you? Go fix the relationship without social media. I got this new app on my phone. This is the craziest thing. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this, but you can make phone calls. Yeah, you don't have to type out your conversation. You can actually talk to people. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, why don't we try using that new app? It looks like a little phone on there. You just hit it and you put the number in. Instead of texting them, you talk to them. And you say, hey, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, but they were wrong too. Yeah, but you're sorry for your part. Let God deal with them on their part. I'm sorry. Don't text it. It just loses some effect. I'm sorry to all the millennials and You know, everybody else is like, hey, you know, we text everything. It loses something in the meaning when it comes across on a text. When you got something like that, just like you don't break up with somebody on a text. Hey, we had a good run. Maybe we should start seeing other people. I already have. Have a nice life. Thanks. Bye. No. No. You don't break up with somebody on a text. Right? Hey, you know, it's not working out. Or do it in person. Don't do it on text. Call them up. I'm sorry. Fix the relationship. Fix it. Apologize. How many of you guys have trouble saying those two words? I'm sorry. Most husbands, that's the hardest thing that we have to come up with to say. But then all of a sudden, just boom. It's like every other sentence one time, starts coming out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Robin got me one time because I used to say I'm sorry just in the argument. And then one time she says, well, what are you sorry for? And I'm like, hold on. I got to be sorry and know what I'm sorry for? Yes. This is ridiculous. So, yeah. So I couldn't just say I'm sorry and end the argument anymore. Now I had to know what I was sorry for. Yeah. So, know what you're sorry for. Fix the relationship. There's relationships right now that I'm sorry will fix it. Say, well, it's just two words. But sometimes just an acknowledgement. I know I hurt you. I know this went wrong. I'm sorry for my part. I'm sorry. Once we say we're sorry, it's time to forgive yourself. Don't hold on to the guilt. The guilt will destroy you. The guilt will tear you apart. Don't hold on. You realize that one of Satan's biggest tools is guilt? We are sitting here feeling guilty about stuff that happened 20 and 30 years ago. For those of you that aren't 20 years old, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Thank you. Right? Forgive yourself. Don't hold on to it anymore. You're holding on to a guilt and a hurt that you can't do anything with. It's time to forgive ourselves. Don't kill any more relationships because you can't get over the guilt. Don't let them die. Guys, we're on the brink of getting ready to do some amazing things in our communities. Don't kill relationships. We need to be building more relationships, not killing the ones that we already have. Okay? Come on, Buttercup. Build me up. Right? You want me to sing it?
No.
Yeah.
What does he say? No.
You triple dog dare me?
No.
Robin says that's the unforgivable sin if I start singing right now. So anyway, let's build it up. Let's build each other up. Be happy to see one another. I am so glad you guys are here. I really am. Not just because I get to see you, but because I hate speaking to empty chairs. I did it for 2 months during COVID. And it sucked. It did. It sucked. And I don't ever want to do it again. And let me tell you this. I don't want to speak to an empty Shafter High auditorium. Not because I'm so great, because I want to see God move in people's lives and build a relationship. And they come to say, hey, I see what Sophie's got. What is it? I got to find it. I got to get what she's got because she's different. She's handling things different than she used to. I got to see what that is. I can't go without it. I got to see what Vandy's doing. I mean, she used to talk about her husband like he's a no good, dirty dog. And now she's talking like she actually loves the guy. So either she got a new husband or God did something with her. Just for the record, she didn't get a new husband, okay? But that's what God can do. That's what God does, okay? Don't kill the relationship. Don't. Yeah, Vanjie, you're right there, so you're an easy target, so. I do appreciate you, though. Okay? Now listen, Judas, he heard the same teaching that the other disciples heard. Judas heard Jesus tell Peter about forgiving 70 times 7 in one day. You guys remember that from last week? How many times should I forgive? 7? No, 70 times 7. Okay, math majors, how many times is that in a day? 490. So, I heard somebody talk about this week. You guys know how many times in a day that is? If you were to stay up 24 hours and not sleep, you would have to forgive somebody every 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes. And that's just for one offense. What if they offend you on something else? That's an additional 490. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay? So, let me tell you something. That forgiving forgiving the 490 times in a day, I'm pretty sure that applies to us forgiving ourselves too. I think this means for us too. And we get right down to it, I'm probably my toughest critic. How many of you guys are toughest on yourself than you are anybody else? Yeah. I struggle with forgiving myself the most because of the things I've done to other people, the things I've seen, right? I struggle with that myself. But I'm grateful that I serve a God that forgives and teaches how to forgive. I don't deserve grace. I don't deserve His mercy. I don't deserve any of it, but He gave it to me anyway. So if you're struggling, if you're the one struggling with forgiveness for yourself or for somebody else, God's there to help. He says, all you got to do is ask. We can't do it by ourselves. It's impossible. I don't have it in me to do it. I need God's help. And with God's help, we can all overcome the guilt that torments us. How many of you guys lay awake at night tormented because of guilt? How many of you guys lay awake at night tormented because of unforgiveness? God says, just give it to me. Let it go. I'm not going to sing Frozen. Let it go. I promise. I promise. She doesn't believe me. It's time to let it go. Okay? Forgiveness is not about letting people off the hook. Forgiveness is about freedom in your life. That's what it's about. So I want to encourage you to step into that freedom. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and watch what God does with it. Can you guys bow your head and close your eyes for me real quick? Like I said, this may not be for everybody, but this is definitely for somebody. Somebody needed to hear this. And I told somebody not too long ago, I said, usually whenever I give a message, I'm talking to everybody else, I'm preaching to myself. Okay? God says, hey, forgiveness is here. You can just accept it. So how many of you would say, you know what? I've done some stuff and I've prayed about it. I'm having a tough time forgiving myself. I know God's forgiven me, but I'm having a tough time forgiving myself. If that's you, you just raise your hand real quick and right back down. Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. I knew this was for somebody. I knew it was for somebody. And maybe somebody that's watching online, God can move wherever we're at. How many of you would say today, by an uplifted hand, say, you know what, I've never made the commitment to follow Jesus. I've never asked Him to be my Savior. Or maybe you have and you walked away from it and you want to come back. If that's you, I'm going to count to 3. And I want you to raise your hand straight up, straight back down. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to embarrass you. I just want to pray with you. All right? So 1, Jesus is here and He's here to forgive you. 2, just let yourself be forgiven. Come back, come home. 3, that you straight up, straight back down. Yes, thank you, thank you. Anybody else? For those that raised your hands, real quick, we're just going to do a quick prayer. I want everybody to say it together so nobody feels singled out. We are community, right? We do this together. So, repeat after me. Say, Jesus,
Jesus,
I know I've sinned,
and
I'm sorry. Come into my heart, and forgive me. In Jesus' name. Amen. If you said that, you meant it, man, your future's bright. You're forgiven. Now forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Are you ready to go and stand with me? Guys, we're on the brink, I'm telling you. It's getting ready to break loose. And I can't wait to watch it happen. can't wait to watch it. God's got some amazing stuff in store. All right, let's pray. Father, thank you for each and every person that's here. God, I pray a special anointing that you help us walk in the forgiveness of ourselves as we've forgiven others and that we receive forgiveness. God, I pray that you touch each and every person that's here. God, give them supernatural soul-winning power, God, as we walk out and as we go into our communities, God, people begin to ask us questions. God, people begin to ask, what's different about you? I need to get what you've got. God, let us be the witness to you and to our world, and let's see our communities change for your name. God, we love you. We thank you. In Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, guys, don't forget the announcements, please. You know, the softball tournament. If you guys have gotten sponsored or know somebody, let us know. And don't forget the donations of the drinks and stuff. Because the best is yet to come.